Welcome, my fellow musicians. It so happens to be a Friday, going into the weekend, so I guess I can say to those of you who are getting into the weekend, happy weekend. If you're listening to this on a regular weekday, happy weekday. Welcome to my channel where we explore not just music, but the very essence of what makes our art form vibrant and dynamic. Today, I want to dive into a topic that is crucial for every musician, producer, and artist. If you're working in a studio or performing live, this topic is crucial. The topic? Drum roll. It is diverse thinking. Diverse thinking is not just about race, religion, or orientation. It is about embracing the power of different ideas and perspectives to create something extraordinary. When someone comes at you with a new idea that's totally different from what you believe, what do you feel? What are you thinking? Are you embracing the idea that the other person has that is totally different from yours? Or do you feel threatened? That's the question I ask. Think about it. Very recently, I published a video comparing two giants in the arranger keyboard industry. There's Yamaha and there's Korg. And it will be unfair for me to say, and the rest. But that's part of the diverse thinking I'm talking about. If I said, Yamaha, Korg, and the rest, the Roland people will be mad, the Williams people will be mad, the Moog people will be mad, and yet it's a diverse idea. You could say, well, it's not an inclusive idea to not mention the others, but you cannot control what people think and say. Now, when I published that video comparing two giants in the arranger industry, my intent was to generate a spirited debate, and I really want to thank those of you who jumped in to wallow in the debate, to get into the debate and share tons of information. The main idea was to inform viewers based on what they have found to be true and be honest. I shared my very unbiased opinion. It was a little bit brutal, about the sounds I was hearing, and I know that authenticity matters. The great Jack Welch of GE, he once said, what is missing in the world, especially the corporate world, whether it's the corporate world of music or the corporate world of healthcare, whatever, he said it's candor. Jack Welch said if everyone were candid, we could work through differences and gain a better understanding. And this is exactly what I aim for on this channel. It might seem a little bit edgy when we are embracing diverse ideas, and it may come across as challenging your beliefs. You could say, this dude has got it wrong. But what good is it to only listen to those you completely agree with? It's good to have your own opinion. That's what makes you unique. As we continue to have spirited dialogue and debate, I encourage you to dive in. I know some folks were so winded just reading and listening to my comments that they didn't pitch in. They just didn't know how to deal with it. Some may resort to insults, but that's not the best way to handle it. The best way to handle diverse ideas is to enjoy it, to value your opinion, to embrace the concept of diverse ideas. Sometimes even conflict can be beneficial. One of the words that I've heard used in the corporate world is hypernorming. What is hypernorming? Hypernorming is when a group of individuals are so alike that they refuse to rock the boat. They refuse to step outside of the norm. So they hypernorm and everyone shuts up. What do you want to eat? whatever you want to eat, where do you want to go, whatever you do. That is not a celebration of the human race. We are all different. We're different heights, different sizes, different weights, different complexions, different skin tones, different origins, but together we are stronger. And we need to believe that. Let me talk about my favorite group. One of my favorites, if not the favorite. And again, I'm going to share my biased opinion because it's my favorite group. Arguably, the best vocal ensemble in the world. Quincy Jones calls them the baddest vocal cats on the planet. And you might have seen my interview with them. They're called Take Six. Take Six have shared how they thrive on diverse viewpoints. They are not robots. They are 6 distinct individuals with unique perspectives. Not only do they have diverse voices, the voices complement. Claude at the top with a high soaring lead voice at the top. And Mark, his voice is very different, but it complements Claude's voice. Then you have, going into the meat locker in the basement, you have Dave and Joey. And their voices add more flavor, all diverse. It's truly amazing. Then we have Mr. Dentley going towards the bottom. And finally we get to the bass man himself. Now, if you've listened to all of the voices individually, they're all great soloists. They're diverse. But when you hear Alvin sing lead, you probably won't even believe it's him. Now, when he's playing his role, he's wearing a different hat. And when you put them all together, each playing a role in a song, sometimes they shift roles. Sometimes Claude could even be the bass. They are so diverse. Christian's voice, you probably wouldn't even believe he's singing baritone. But when people hear them together, it sounds like one unified front. And that's a celebration of music, a celebration of diversity, diversity in voices. There's a lot we can learn from Take Six about how we are stronger together, even though we may be diverse in our sounds, in our vocal textures. You see, when people hear about diversity, they often think about race, religion, and orientation alone. But a very powerful overarching thought in diversity is diverse ideas. A method that exemplifies the power of diverse thinking is called the 6 thinking hats, and this technique encourages you to wear different hats or perspectives to push boundaries in solving problems and exploring situations. It's about celebrating diverse ideas and understanding that we cannot all think alike. Even AI models like ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude have different approaches to mimicking reasoning. Haven't you seen that, right? When you interact with AI, if you have. I remember one of the first artists I produced way back in the 90s, Reverend Jackson. We had a big blowout in the studio. And we had guest vocalists. And I wasn't mature enough to handle it because I didn't understand the power of diverse thinking and the importance of being vocal about different ideas. Embracing the fact that people will have different ideas from you is essential. So actually, it's a good thing because it makes us human and unique, and maturity is knowing that diverse ideas will come. My goodness, even in the same family, brothers and sisters have different ideas. Hey, twins, identical. They have different ideas. So, welcome to my world, my friends, where I relish diversity of ideas. I even relish conflict, productive conflict. There's such a thing as good conflict. If you are in a band or a producer working with diverse ideas, welcome them. If you are a musician in an ensemble, welcome them. If you're a pianist working with a bassist, welcome. Even the greats, like Ron Carter shared when he was playing with McCoy Tyner back in the day, he would let McCoy know, hey, this part of the register is mine. Please don't come into my territory, because you know how McCoy will be pounding out those awesome 11th chords with one hand. His hands were so wide. But Ron Carter had to say, hey, this is my range. Even in the world of the pros, Miles would tell Herbie, don't play the butter notes. So diversity of ideas and opinions is okay. Let's celebrate diverse thinking, my friends. Let's see how it can elevate our music to new heights. I appreciate you for joining me, because we see diversity all around. People say, wow, I don't know how two pianists, while great, like Herbie and Chick Corea, rest his soul, can sit together and play the same instrument, two pianos, and you could still distinctly hear each other's effect, and at the same time there's unity. Or how could Keith Jarrett and Chick Corea do a duet? You know how Chick is and you know how Keith is. They're very different musicians, but they were able to get together and make a unified sound, same instrument. It's really remarkable. So join me, my fellow producers, vocalists, band members, directors. Please understand there will always be diversity of ideas. Let's celebrate it, and let's keep being great.